Okay, I've had the Pixel 10 Pro Fold for about a week now, and I've been comparing it to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Is there very many differences, or is it a mixed bag for an upgrade? Let's talk about it. As you know, I'm no stranger to the Pixel Pro Fold series, so getting adapted to this was quite easy and quick. So I've got a lot of things to share with you, and to begin with, I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of things that I did like about this and the changes that were made. Let's get into them. So in my previous video where I unboxed this phone, we did a lot of physical comparison on the hardware and such on these things. This time we're going to talk more about the use case and the software and how well they perform against each other. Now, one of the first things I want to do is talk about a little bit of the difference. As you know, I've got a nice case here for the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Fits on there really nice. I like the fact that it's a little stand as well. And I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have to get another one for the Pixel 10, but why not just give it a shot? Put it on there. Check this out. I put it on there. As you can probably hear right there, it snapped right into place. Everything seems to be aligned. The only difference is, as you can see here, maybe the mic is just a little off. I don't know if you can see that in the above camera or not. And then on this side, same thing. The mic is just a little bit off, if that is a microphone in there. So that's all. It would still pick up, I believe, with the case on. So this will be a temporary use till I find a more permanent case for this, or I may just go caseless, because that's the first thing I want to talk about, what I really like about this phone. I want to take a quick second here and tell you how much I appreciate you for watching this video, but more than that, I appreciate you helping the channel get to 10,000 subscribers. And in celebration of that, we're going to do a great giveaway and give back to you. I've got items here that I've done reviews on, and expensive items over the last couple of years, and we're going to give these away to you. What I want you to do is just go to goodoldtech.com. Check out the giveaway right there on the website, and you can read all the instructions there, and you can even look at these things one-on-one and check out their value on Amazon. Some of these things are really expensive. We've got a lot of different cases. Even have a Honor Magic V3 case here, new in the box. So check out the website, enter to win in this giveaway, and celebrate with me. Now on to another 10,000 subscribers. Let's get back to the video. So what I mean in all that is you have a Pixel Snap on the back of this phone that you don't have on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and I really like that. I mean, you could take something like this ring, put it on there, and now you could really securely carry it around, which I really do enjoy, and I have some pop grips that work on this as well. But either way, I really do like this. And of course, you have a stand with that ring right there. And I like the fact that this thing charges wirelessly on a magnetic stand, and I have a few of those MagSafe stands that I actually use for my iPhone. So anything that works on this iPhone also works on this Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Not so much on here. Now I did put a ring on it, so it will magnetize these things. So I've got the simulation of it having the Pixel Snap, but this does not charge as well as you get with this. Now, the charging on these things, either one of them is really slow wirelessly. So I'm not very happy with that. I was hoping with the Pixel Snap that it would pick up on that. And at some point, I'll do a charging test as well as a drain test on these phones. You're not going to get that in this video right now, but just to say, it's agonizingly slow when you try to wirelessly charge either one of these. But the major difference is the magnet is lined up perfectly on this phone, where it is not on this one. I'll give you an example and show you here. This is a MagSafe charger for the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and see how that ring matches up where I have this place. It's lower. On this, it's a bit higher, and I can show you by placing this on there, and you can see how the G is pretty much right in the center. I'm hoping you can see that in the overhead. The G is right in the center, and you can see, look at that placement. Look how much higher that ring is on this thing than it is on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So you can see it was placed in the wrong place. So this case, if it does fit on there, the ring is in the wrong place. And sneak peek, weather alert, check it out. It fits on there just fine. Now, that's a pretty nice thing to know, that you can put your Pixel 9 Pro Fold cases on your Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So that's really cool. But the MagSafe portion does not work. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you by putting it right on there. You can see it'll snap on there okay. But because of the location, see how the green, it just went away. It didn't keep charging because it's just too low. And if we were to prove it by taking this case off here, and let's see, we get her off there real quick, and then you just snap it on. There you go. Now it snaps into place. Now it's staying green and it is charging. So the MagSafe is in the wrong place, too low. And even if you put this on here, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold on there, even though the ring is in the right place, it does charge, but it's really sketchy. Sometimes it charges, sometimes it doesn't. You can see here, it's just bouncing. And then if it just went off there. Then if I put this case on there, it'll hold, but it just doesn't seem to want to charge with it that well. See, it's on, but over time it goes off. You can see it won't stay charged. It's just because of the placement of the coils. So you can see even by the case, is it a bad placement? Now check this out. Even if I put this on a regular stand here, it will not charge. You can see there's no green. It is not charging. And just to show you this one, you can put it on there and this one starts charging right away. So that is one big improvement, is the placement of the charging coils. That, believe it or not, has changed my world, because in my car now, I don't mind taking this because I have a car mount that fits these folds and this will charge in it now. Which is awesome. I could not get this one to charge in it, so it was not very pleasing to use this in my car. So there's one really huge improvement with Pixel 10 Pro of wireless charge. Now, is the Pixel 10 Pro Fold screen any brighter? Well, going outside, you look at it here, you can see it doesn't look much brighter. I hadn't really noticed anything really with it. So I'd say they're really right on par, even though it's supposed to be brighter. I think the Pixel 9 Pro Fold was definitely bright enough outside, but I will tell you, after using this a while, it's a lot more pleasing to look at with the smaller bezel than you get the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So that's another big plus, is they kind of streamlined it quite a bit. Now, both of these phones are on Android 16, so you think the software would be pretty much identical, but I think there's some quirks and maybe some bugs they need to fix in the Pixel 10 Pro Fold just in the beginning here. And it may got fixed because it actually had an update last night. So I'm going to try to show you those quirks, and they may not appear today. So one of them is when you open them both up, you see here, go to the home page. They both look good. Oh, and that's another thing that I really appreciate on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. The crease is not quite as wide as it is on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I think I showed it in the last video, and I'm just not seeing it as bad. I'm not noticing it as much as I do with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. And where it's really noticeable is when you got it mounted in your car, you got the sunlight coming in from the sides, it'll really reflect off that crease if it's really bad. And I have not noticed it as much on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold now. It just could be new and more folds. It might pop out more, but that's what I really love about my other phones like the Magic V5. I don't have that issue as much as I do with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, but I'm not noticing it as much with the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So it's very pleasant to use it in the car, again, because it charges on that mount. So back to the software here. Something that I noticed, okay, if I take and turn the Pixel 10 Pro Fold up, see, it's not, yes, it is, it's doing it still. Pixel 10 Pro Fold, I turned it. Let's turn the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Get back to the screen. What do you notice is going on here? What's happening? I actually mirrored pretty much I did the software transfer from the Pixel 9 Pro to the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So what are you seeing that's different here? Look at the dock right there. It's overlapped. Now, I cannot move that Google bar. Check that out. It's, for some reason, overlapping those buttons on the bottom where I've got plenty of space here. That is an issue or just a glitch. I don't know, in the software. So the update last night did not fix that. And then there was another issue. I wish I'd taken a picture of it. Dummy me, I didn't. On the Pixel 10 Pro, the battery, when it got to 100%, it didn't show it inside the battery. As a matter of fact, it had a question mark next to it. That question mark didn't go away. It wouldn't give you the reading percentage until it hit 90%. And then it started reading the battery again. So that was another glitch. I was hoping, and maybe it was fixed by last night's update because I haven't seen it yet, but we'll find out once I get it charged up. And if it happens again, I'll go ahead and splice it into this video so you can see. Now, to be honest, that's just a simple glitch that I know could be fixed with software updates, but I'm surprised that they haven't done that yet. All right, now let's start testing performance on both these phones. Both of them, of course, are connected to my Wi-Fi, which is a gigabit Wi-Fi. So that's really nice. And we're going to go ahead and test their speed. And I use that speed app here on both of them. So let me just pull it up here real quick on both. And you got to do one at a time so that they don't interfere with one another. So we got the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. It is doing its speed test right now. And as you can see, it's doing really well. I've got well, not up to 6 or 700. Let's see how it goes over time. It's kinda averaging out, and I'm within 15 feet of the Wi-Fi router, so it should do better. And then the same thing with the, upload speed. The upload speed was just a little bit better, so that's interesting. Unfortunately, at this point, I had some technical difficulty and lost some audio and actually lost some video. But just to say, they both pretty much scored about the same on this test, and I am now pondering whether they both have the same radio or not. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure which Wi-Fi they both have. I don't know if they both have Wi-Fi 7 or not, I think. I'm betting this one's Wi-Fi 6 on the Pixel 9 Pro and Wi-Fi 7 on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, but I'll go ahead and list it here so we know for sure. Now let's take a look at the processor and see how well it works. And what I'm going to do on both of these, so now you know me, I like to do processing power and see how they both work. And I have this program called InShot, and I did a video in the backyard with both of them. And in this video, we did 7 minutes and 51 seconds on the Pixel 10 and 50 seconds. So right there within 1 second of each other. So we're going to take this video and we're going to use it to do some processing power and test them both out. You can see it popped up faster on the Pixel 10 Pro phone. And all I'm going to do is I did some talking in it. So I'm going to go ahead and have this thing just kind of cut it down to where I just talked. So there's this thing called AI cut right here. This AI cut will cut out everything that doesn't have speech connected to it, which is really nice. You're going to get a better portion of the video when I actually do this. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start it on both of them, and then I'm going to start the timer. So let's get going. We do this AI cut. 1, 2. I think I have to hit start after I do it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to hit start, and then we're going to hit start there. 1, 2, 3, go, go. So we'll see how long they go, and then we'll report it back to you. So I'm going to speed through it. Wow, the Tensor 5 definitely is blowing away the Tensor 4 on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So that was quite a bit different. You know, that's a lot. Still under 40 seconds for both of them. Now, what it's done is it's automatically wants me to check through these, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit the check mark and accept what it decided to cut out on these. And we're going to do that on both of them. And then hit that again. Okay, they both have trimmed it down towards 4 minutes and 9.4 seconds. So right there, the same. So they're right there neck and neck. I'm cutting out everything exactly the same. So we've got pretty much the exact same video here. And we're going to go ahead and export it. And I'm going to go ahead and have them export it in 4K on both of them because the video was actually taken in 4K. And you can see the file size is going to be nearly the same. 1633.3, 1633.1 on that one. And let's go ahead and we're going to hit the export, and then we're going to hit the start button, and we'll see which one exports the video faster. 1, 2, 3, go. Start. I think it was a clean start. We'll speed through this and give you the results. Okay, we just passed 50% on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. We're at 57, 55. Folks, these two are running neck and neck, so I'm not sure that this G5 is really doing a whole lot better than the G4. I had to display the results there on the screen because I kind of missed it. I turned my head and the Pixel, I looked and they both finished, and it looked like the Pixel 10 might have finished first, but because of that message that pop up, I'm not really quite sure. But we will have the timestamp right there in the video, as you can see. And I'm assuming that the Pixel 10 won, but just barely. So as you saw there in the test, I don't think I would get the Pixel 10 Pro Fold over the Pixel 9 or upgrade simply because of the processor, because I don't think there's a whole lot of difference to make it worth doing it. And I tell you, having them both still in the hand for the last week or so, I didn't really feel a whole lot of performance difference in speed on the Pixel 10 Pro from the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, but you know that they're really close. So the difference is going to be on some of the other things I already mentioned, and then we're going to get into photography here next. Both phones right here in front of me on the PC. We've got the Pixel 9 Pro Fold here on the left and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold on the right. And let's go ahead and put the information on each of these right down the middle. You can see they both did the same thing. This is a exterior shot from setting the normal setting on a 50 megapixel camera. And you can see right here, they're doing really well, pretty much the same thing. If we click in a couple of clicks on both of them, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, let's do 4 clicks on both. You can see they're capturing pretty much the same. And I don't think a whole lot has changed on either one of them. You can see the detail, it's all there. The coloring is about the same on both of them. I'm not seeing much change here or difference from the main camera. Let's move on to the next photo here. This is where I zoom in a little bit. I think I did a 2x zoom, which was just the natural setting on the phone. And you can see same thing. This one might have been changing a little bit on the wording, so it got a little blurred. But if you look at everything else, pretty good. Let's look at the sign here real quick. This open house sign. Take a look at this open. It's a barber shop that's open. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit on this one here as well. And we'll see if we can see that barber shop. And where's it at? Right there. They're about, it's a little blurrier. Maybe I went in a little too far. Let's go back one. Okay, you got a little bit more clarity over here on the 10 if you crop in. So, this could have been movement on my part because the rest of it looks blurry. It's hard to really tell, but I'm thinking they're pretty equal. Let's go to the next shot here. And same thing, look at this leaf falling on these things, falling from the trees. So we've got pretty good, same thing. The sky is nice and clear. I think we've got the same clarity, same coloring, everything is about the same. And I know I'm saying same a lot. And let's zoom in one more. This, I believe, is the 5x zoom on the camera and looking pretty good. I think the clarity's there on both of them. I'm not seeing any more detail on one or the other. Look at that theater sign. It looks like it's just as clear on both. Let's go zoom in one more. This is the 10 times on both of them. And the clarity, it's really hard to see. I think there's a little more light allowed in on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So with a little more light, you get a little more clarity at times. But, it's just going to really all depend on your personal preference. This one's got a little more color to it, I guess. But I don't think one is really outshining the other on this. Let's go to some other outdoor photos here. This is an ultra wide shot on both of them. As you can see, oh, look at that. Got some birds flying overhead. It's kind of nice. Kind of washed out this wall, but the sun is right over here shining directly at the wall, as you can tell by all the shade here of the street. So that might be expected there. And let's go to the next photo here. We zoom in a little bit. I think this is a standard shot right there. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And they both look very compatible, pretty much the same. Even the clouds, there's a lot of detail. So the range is really good on both of them. Look at the color of the trees. And let's go on to the next. I'm trying to avoid saying same. Let's go to the next photo. And in the next photo on both of them, this is the 5x zoom on both. And they're both using the same kind of camera, 10 megapixel, 5x zoom. Look at that bird up there. And, it's looking pretty much the same to me. There, I said it again. Let's not do a drinking game or else everybody's going to get drunk. And let's see. Let's look at the file size on these. And let's move this out of the way here so I can go to the next photo. This is zoomed in, I think, 10 times on both of them. And if you look here, it's similar on both. You can see here the clarity is, I think there might be actually a little bit more clarity. If you look at this guy's head around here, there might be a little bit more clarity in leaves. It could just be me, but I think there's a little bit more clarity in the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. And this is on the 5x zoom. Or no, I'm sorry, 10 times zoom. But let's look at the file size. On the 10, it's a 4 megabytes. And over here, it's 3.7. So you get a little larger size, it looks like, on the Pixel 10, maybe because it does add a little more light to it. So it gets a little bit more detail. But I think you could be happy with either one of these. So let's go ahead and move on to, oh, I guess I got a couple more zoom shots here. Zooming in a little bit more. This is the 20 times on the guy on the bench there. And looking pretty close, like each other. So I can't really pick one over the other. Now let's go ahead and go to another shot. I don't know what that's doing there. This is just the wall at 20 times, and it's looking very similar on both of them. Now let's see if we can go on to night shots. If you can't tell already, this is fall, and you can see all the leaves, everything's just coming down. But look at these two at night. There's some obvious differences right away. The 10 Pro Fold, I think it adds a little more light in here, which really makes the sky suffer. You got a nicer bluer dark sky here on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and then the flaring on the lights is a lot worse on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. But as far as clarity, it's really hard to say, but this flaring just kind of bugs me on that one. Let's go to the next one here, and you can see it's there again on the next photo. You got all that flaring, so Pixel needs to do something about that. Maybe an update or something. But you do have some artifacts here on the Pixel 10 or Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I don't know what happened there. Let's go ahead and bump it in just a couple clicks, 1, 2 on these two photos, just to see here what we got going on. And the clarity actually looks like a little more clarity here on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold for some reason. This is interesting. Let's go on to, let's see, move that over a little bit. Yeah. And actually the coloring is more accurate on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold because that house is kind of a gun blue color. But of course the washing out here by that light is just taking all that away. And the light pole here is much more pixelated here on the 10 than the 9. That's just interesting. Well, let's go on to the next photo. And the next photo is actually the 5 times zoom on both of them. And it looks like we're getting a much better shot on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold now. So it's kind of flipped here when you use that zoom. They both have the 5 times zoom and they're both 10 megapixel, but it looks like the 10 handled a little better. It's very windy, so you can't really count these blurry leaves because they're blowing quite a bit. It's just very, very windy out there. But look at that tree trunk. I think there's a lot more color and clarity and more natural looking here on the Pixel 10. That's interesting. Let's zoom in a little bit more. On this is a 10 times zoom, and you can see, I don't know what happened. The Pixel 9 just can't seem to handle it with that light. And the Pixel 10 did really well. So I'm liking it better here. That's interesting. On the normal shots, it's better on the Pixel 9, but on the zooming, you get better images on the 10. And even here, a little bit better. You can see it's starting to be the dark blue here on the 10, and everything it looks a little clearer here on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So, I've got to give these longer shots to the Pixel 10, but the close-ups or the normal lens better on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. That's kind of a mixed bag, as we said at the beginning on the photos. So you can see they're both very comparable when it comes to photos. Now, I did take some videos, but unfortunately, I didn't realize it until I was sitting and editing the videos that for some reason, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold was set on 1080p and not 4K. I'm so sorry for that, but I'll go ahead and throw in a little bit of clip here just so you can see a little bit of difference, but it's clear that the Pixel 10 Pro Fold was not on 4K. But let's go ahead and take a look at them and listen to the sound anyway. It's very short. Okay, we've got all 3 phones set on the same, pretty much. They're on a tripod, just kind of walking around the backyard. Not able to get too steady, but look at that view. Watching the leaves fall down. How are they doing? Look at all that color. That's crazy. That's what fall brings. So how's my voice on these phones? So as you can see there, as far as the two of them, I think they're going to be very comparable to one another in video as well. The 10 Fold was definitely a lot brighter, but that's because it was 1080p. It didn't have that extra dynamic range for the color, but I think they're both going to do really well. And the audio on the both of them was really right on par with each other. So I don't think you're going to get any better audio on one over the other. Now, before I started this video, I was really hoping for some accessories to come in, and guess what? They actually did. I was in the middle of making this video. So I'm going to show you something right now. We have the Pixel Snap Grip right here. So that's a pretty nice accessory. Check it out. Fits right on there. Snap. Right there. Look at the coloring. They did a really good job matching the coloring. I like that. So fits on there, and of course, makes a really nice stand. And you can stand up your phone in any aspect ratio that you wish. It'll even hold the full thing up and fold, but of course you gotta adjust it, I guess, properly if you don't want it to fall on you. So that's pretty nice how that works. Now here's something that I didn't realize, even with this on there. Now it doesn't really hold too well, but you can actually charge through the puck, or I mean through the grip, right there. This puck does not charge very well, but it does work, or it did work. There you go. It lit it up just a little bit. So it does work, but of course, not as well if connected straight to the phone. And what I mean by that, I'm going to show you here real quick. I have this app here called Amper, and let's turn this brightness down so you can see it better. And what it does, it reads the amount of charge that's going through this phone. And I need to go a little brighter. And you can see right here, it's not enough to actually give us a green reading. It's orange. Without it, it's not even showing that. So let's go ahead and check this out. Since I've got that, here is the charging puck. And the charging puck, I believe, is supposed to do up to 15, but you don't get that out of this puck. If you look at this thing here, I think you only get 4 at the max. So let's see what's happening here. Actually, not even that much. Come on now. We'll give it a little bit of time here. We'll set it here and see what it gets up to. About 400 mA is about 4 watts. So it's not really doing so well. So you can see there, it's not even reaching 4 watts. And how do I know this? Simply because I've tested it and tried it on different devices. And I have this little thing right here that'll actually measure watts that I can put on the cable. So on the cable, I've got it set up, and you can see it's just not putting it out. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing that I got. I got from Pixel their charger. This is a 67-watt charger, as you can see there. And supposedly they said if you use our charger, that's where you get the best speeds. Well, not on the puck, that's for sure. Maybe hardwired, you'll get higher speeds, but definitely doesn't work with the Pixel Snap. So I just wanted to show you here. I got it plugged up to my little portable charger here, which actually gives us a reading of what's going on. And you can see here, it's got 4 watts that are coming through it right now. And that's what, just over 400. And if we hit 500, it would show a little higher, but you can see that's pretty sad. Now, does this work on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? Well, let's turn this one on. And because I do have the little ring on there, it will snap to it. And it's starting to charge. Problem is, it doesn't stay charged. But look at that. It's doing 4 watts on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Now, we know it does better than that, but I think it's just what these phones will pull. And the reason why I know that it will do better than that is, let's take something like, well, let's even do the Pixel Pro here, and the Pixel 10 Pro. Plug it in there. It's registering here, and as you can see there, it's going to go up there. And let's go ahead and open up that app here. And even with the app on, I wish that would keep turning off. Here with the app on, let's see here, we're at 270, 390. So, it's just Pixel, for some reason, will not allow their devices to charge very well wirelessly. And that's just sad. Now, let's take this puck, like I said, and I'll put it on a device that we know does charge fast. This is the automatic B3. Now, it doesn't does not magnetize to the back of this thing, but we'll look at the readings here and turn that on. Look at the readings here of the app and on that, and we'll see what happens here. See if the app is turning green here. What's going to happen? Oh, we get, look at that, 7 watts already coming out of it. So you can see it's just these phones themselves are just not tuned to charge very good, even with their own hardware. So to be honest, I probably will not waste any time doing reviews on this Pixel Puck here, this Pixel Snap charger. It just does not seem to be worth it to me. And I don't think I would spend the extra money for that wall plug either, because it's 67 watts, but doesn't seem to be doing very well. I'm going to plug that here into my phone that will charge faster than the rest of them. And this will just be a test on their Pixel charger. I'll test this one. You can see here, this one is pulling 5.7.4. It's going to grow. Just give it a little bit of time and it go a little higher. Now, some of these take a little time to grow as far as the charge to go up. So we'll give this a little time to sink. And looking back at it now, you can see, look at that. It's pulling, 8.9 watts out of it. And we're getting quite a bit of charging out of this 65-watt charger that I have. It has multiple plugs on it, and maybe I'll do a review on that later. But check that out. It's doing pretty good. Now I'm going to switch up and plug it into this one. So we'll unplug this cord, plug it into their 67-watt charger, plug it in over there, and let's see what happens. Are we going to get that same amount of charging? Okay, as you can see, it's pulling pretty good wattage. Got 18 there out of a 67-watt charger, so that's not bad. So it's doing pretty good. And I would say that the charger itself, it's a dual port charger, so that might be worth it. I'll have to put the price of it here on the screen because I got it on free with the credit that I had, so I don't know or remember what the price is. Okay, now this is it plugged into the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and you can see it's not pulling but 10 amps here, or 10 watts. So it's not really doing all that great. And that's that 67-watt charger from Pixel. So now I'm going to take it out and I'm going to plug it into the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and let's see what it does. If it does any better, it gives us a better reading. And now there might be better flow of charging here because this one's already at 87%, where the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is at 33. And it seems like they throttle a little bit the closer they get to 100%. They pull a little less. So we'll see what's happening. And you can see that already. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold is pulling a lot more. And it's doing 18, 19 watts here versus what we were only getting 10 out of the Pixel 10. Now, I wouldn't really judge that charging performance out of that little test. We'll do a fuller battery test on these things at a later date. I guess that about wraps it up with the two of these. We've got the Pixel 10 Pro Fold versus the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Is there enough difference really to upgrade? I'm going to have to leave that to you. I did it because of the sale that I got this thing on, but I was not going to do it in the beginning because I was concerned they were going to be too close. And I think in actuality, they are. The one big plus with this thing would have been the Pixel Snap if it really did any good. What I do like about it, though, is I will go with this thing with nothing on it but this ring because it holds it really good. I don't mind that whatsoever. I like that and the color match, and it gives it a better grip when you're holding it. So I would definitely recommend this ring as a purchase and as a good plus for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold versus the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So now it's time to hear from you. What do you think? Was there enough change to really make the upgrade? Is there something in the test that maybe I left out, or is there something that I'm missing that you might think I was being biased on? Well, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear from you. Now, I did do a battle between the Pixel 9 Pro Fold and the Samsung Z Fold 7, and you can check that out here. Now, I will do a new battle against the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. I'm not sure if we can really expect any different results, but I will do that battle. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on further content. Until next time, have a wonderful day. God bless.